before we move forward, let's take a moment to recap Module 1, Discovering Skin Types. So this module is important because everything we do in skincare, products, routines, treatments, and even the aging treatments depends on reading the skin correctly. So when skin type is misunderstood, even the best products can create problems. So this recap is about locking in clarity and confidence. So the key idea of the module 1 is very simple but very powerful. So skin type is what the skin is. Skin condition is what the skin is going through. So skin type is relatively stable. Skin condition can change with weather, stress, products, hormones, lifestyle. So many skincare mistakes happen because people try to change skin type instead of supporting it. So once you understand this difference, you stop guessing and your decisions become much safer. So let's start with the normal skin. Normal skin doesn't mean perfect skin. It means balanced skin. So oil production is balanced. Pores are fine and even. So skin feels comfortable, not tight or greasy. Normal skin can still become dehydrated, sensitive or irritated. But that does not change its skin type. It only means the condition has changed. So now next is dry skin. So dry skin is not just about lacking water, it's mainly about lacking oil and lipids. So dry skin feels tight, rough or flaky. Fine pores, often uncomfortable after cleansing. So dry skin does not need stronger products. Dry skin does not need stronger, dry skin very often become worse because of people over cleanse or over treat it. So dry skin needs support. Okay, so let's talk about the oily skin. So oily skin is defined by higher sebum production. Shine appears easily, pores may look larger, so often misunderstood and over treated. So large pores are not a problem of looseness. They usually reflect of regulation and skin stability, not a lack of tightening products. So when oily skin is treated too much, it often produces even more oils. So even oily skin needs hydration. The key is the right texture and comfortable ingredients. So combination skin is one of the most common skin types and also one of the most misunderstood. Oily skin are oily in some areas, especially on the T-zone, and the normal or dry in other areas, often on our cheeks. So combination skin should not be treated as one single skin type. Different areas may need different levels of support. So why does module 1 matter so much? Because once skin type is clear, you stop relying on trial and error. So you may lower risk decision. So you avoid unnecessary skin stability, you support long-term comfort and resilience, and when skin is treated correctly, confidence follows naturally. So this is what module 1 is really about. When you understand skin types properly, you stop guessing. You don't rely on trial and error anymore. So once you can clearly tell the difference between skin type and skin condition, your decisions become safer, more confident and lower risk. So when the skin is treated correctly, it becomes more comfortable, more stable and more resilient over time. So that doesn't just support skin health, it supports the daily confidence and performance as well. So now the next question is if skin type stays the same, why does the skin still change over time? To answer that, we need to understand aging itself. That brings us to managing aging skin. Module 2, managing aging skin. So let's begin with the module 2, managing aging skin. We will cover identify the causes, explaining natural aging progression, observing signs of premature aging, caring for mature skin. So today when we talk about aging, we start with one core idea. Skin aging is never caused by only one factor. It is always a combination of intrinsic and extrinsic influences, and everything ultimately links back to balance. It's called as a homeostasis. But in professional skincare, we must clearly separate what we cannot change from what we can influence. So intrinsic aging refers to natural genetic aging. It includes things like slower cell turnover, reduced collagen, elastin production, and reduced moisture retention. So this process is inevitable and we cannot stop it. So in practice, intrinsic aging sets the baseline, but it does not explain why two people of the same age can look completely different. This is why when we talk about identifying causes, we focus first on extrinsic factors, because these are the factors that we can influence, manage, and correct. So genetics may account for 1/3 of aging skin aging. So environment and lifestyle account for the remaining 2/3. So identify the causes. First, we have to the extrinsic environment and lifestyle factors. When we talk about aging, most people think it's about time, but in skincare, aging is not only about age. Okay, it's also about exposure. So, and exposure is something that we can influence. So today we focus on extrinsic factors because these are the causes that we can manage, reduce, and correct. So extrinsic aging is mainly driven by 4 major categories. Exposing skin to UV rays, UV exposure. Secondly is smoking. Thirdly is adopting unhealthy lifestyle habits. And also the behaviors. So lastly is being exposed to pollution and toxins. So UV is the #1 external aging factor. It causes photoaging and DNA damage, and it breaks down collagen over time. So UV doesn't just create wrinkles, it disturbs the skin balance and accelerates internal aging mechanism. So that's why you can often tell someone maybe the same age, but one person has more pigmentation and uneven tone and deeper wrinkles simply because of sun exposure habits. So UV damage is not only from beach days, it is from everyday exposure, little by little. So that's why we call it cumulative aging. So lighter skin tones have less UV protection and can show more photoaging. So the best prevention strategy is daily sunscreen, not occasional sunscreen. So secondly, smoking is another strong aging accelerator. So smoking reduces the oxygen and nutrient supply, so pushing the skin into chronic imbalance. Typically, smokers' skin they often looks dry or dull, uneven tone, fine lines, leathery texture, and sometimes a yellowish tone due to nicotine. So even if the person uses expensive skincare, smoking still keeps the skin in survival mode. So thirdly is unhealthy lifestyle habits or behavior. So lifestyle aging includes the diet, alcohol, drugs, sleeps, stress, and even noise as a stress contributor. So stress, poor diet, and lack of sleep keep the skin in a constant recovery mode, never allowing it to stabilize. So think about the office life, when we late nights, high stress, coffee, little water, irregular meals. This doesn't only affect the energy, it affects the skin barrier, hydration, and inflammation. So lastly is pollution or toxins. So pollution and toxins overload the skin defense system. When the skin is constantly exposed to toxins, it becomes harder to maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis means balance. So people living in cities, heavy traffic areas, or high air conditioning environment often experience dullness, sensitivity, and uneven tone more easily. So always ask, why is it like this? Not just label the person or client as a dry, oily, or combination. So now we understand the causes, especially the extrinsic factors that disturb the balance and accelerate aging. But causes alone don't explain what we actually see on the skin. So to understand the visible changes, wrinkles, sagging, dehydration, loss of firmness, we need to understand how aging progresses naturally inside the skin. That brings us to the next session. Explaining natural aging progression. So we start to lose important elements in the skin that keep us looking young. So skin aging is driven by the intrinsic factors, genetics or time, and extrinsic factors is by environment or lifestyle. So intrinsic aging sets the baseline, but visible aging happens faster when the key skin components decline. So natural aging progression involves four major losses: collagen, dead layer fat, and skin lipids. Thirdly is hyaluronic acid and ceramides. Lastly is the losing of phospholipids. So the overall result is a loss of structure, loss of hydration, weaker barrier, and reduced resilience. So aging is not only about wrinkles. Aging happens because the skin slowly loses key building blocks that keep it firm, hydrated, and resilient. So genetics may influence about 1/3, but environment and lifestyle influence about 2/3.
Can you ask a question? This collagen, ceramide, they all are inside our skin.
Yeah, it's on our basal layer.
Base layer.
Basal layer.
That follicle also inside the skin.
Yes. Okay, so the four key changes in the natural aging progression. The progression one is losing of collagen. So it is a structure support declines. So what is collagen? Is the main structure protein in the body and skin. So it keeps the skin firm, elastic, and supported. So what happens with age? Collagen production decreases over time. So skin loses elasticity. The visible signs is fine lines and wrinkles, and sagging and reduced firmness, thinner skin texture. So less collagen means less support. This is why wrinkles become so visible. So So collagen is basically the support system of our body, especially of our skin firmness, elasticity, joints, and even bones. So when does collagen loss actually start? It usually start earlier than people think, around mid-20s, age is 25. So from there, collagen productions slows down, and collagen breaks speed up. So on average, it drops about 1% every year. So what happens when collagen drops? Do we only see it on the face? Not only on the face, we see it externally and feel it internally. So we may notice the skin becomes less elastic, fine lines and wrinkles appears, skin starts to sag, skin becomes thinner, and nails become more brittle. So internally, we may notice the joint stiffness or discomfort, weaker bone density over time. So why do some people age faster than others? Because collagen loss can be accelerated by the lifestyle factors. So UV rays from the sun breaks collagen in the deeper skin layers, causing the premature aging. So high sugar diet, sugar also can cause to the glycation, which damages collagen fibers and reduces firmness. So smoking, stress, and lack of sleep, all of these can reduce the repair and regeneration. So hormonal changes, especially menopause, collagen loss can accelerate significantly. So some women may lose a large amount of collagen within the first few years of menopause, after menopause. So what can we do about it? Collagen loss is natural, but we can slow it down. The key actions are consistent sun protection, reduce sugar intake, good sleep, and stress management. So healthy habits and suitable supplement when needed. So progression 2 is losing of natural fat plus the skin lipids. So when the subcutaneous fat equal to the volume support padding under skin, lipids in strato include the ceramides, cholesterol, and saturated fatty acids. So what happens with age? Fat layer becomes thinner. That means the empty space under the skin. So visible signs will be facial hollowing, dropping or sagging. Skin looks more fragile. Fat losses is why the face looks less plump and more sunken as we age. So losing.
Can we take the bone broth juice, which a lot of collagen to supplement
Supplement.
Can you take soup, those that you boil, a lot of collagen, the chicken feet. Can that help
yeah.
you? Is that helpful?
Yes. But supplement by supplement or as you say by drinking the soup, right? That's one of the diet to our body and our skin. So losing of natural fat is age-related fat loss. So when we talk about aging, most people think only about wrinkles. One of the biggest reasons we start to look older is actually fat loss under the skin, not just lines. So as we age, the layer of fat just beneath the skin, called subcutaneous fat, slowly becomes thinner. And this affects the way our face and body look in a very noticeable way. So where does the fat loss happen most? Fat loss happens most clearly in areas like the face, hands, arms, and legs. And the face is most obvious on our face. Our face is most obvious because once the face loses the support, we immediately look more tired and aged. So many people notice after 40 that their face looks less plump, The cheeks don't look as full. The under eye area may look hollow and folds like nasolabial lines becomes more obvious. So this happens because subcutaneous fat acts like a natural cushion. When that cushion becomes thinner, the fat loses volume and support. So the features look more hollow and structured, but also more edge. So fat also redistributes. Here is something interesting. A lot of people feel like the face becomes slimmer, and the arms and legs become thinner, but the stomach area becomes easier to gain fat.
So pear shape.
Ah.
Pear shape. Not apple shape.
Okay, so that's because aging doesn't only reduce fat, it can also redistribute it. So the peripheral fat decreases, while deep abdominal fat, known as visceral fat, may increases. So when the fat layer becomes thinner, the skin has less support. So the skin may appear more fragile or thin, more wrinkled, more prone to sagging. So it's like the skin has lost its padding. So everything shows more easily. So this process often becomes noticeable from 40s. So the changes becomes more significant in the 50s and beyond. So why does this fat loss happen? There are three simple reasons behind it. Okay, reduced fat regeneration. As we age, the cells that help regenerate fat tissue becomes less active. So the body produces fewer new fat cells under the skin, and the fat layers become thinner. Secondly is the chronic inflammation. So while aging, with aging, the body often has higher level of low-grade inflammation. This inflammation can reduce the creation of new fat cells, and accelerate fat loss. So thirdly is the hormonal changes. Declining estrogens and testosterone levels also plays a role in how the fat is distributed. So, and why certain areas lose volume more quickly. So is it only cosmetic? Not really. So fat loss also affects the health. For example, less insulation, people feel colder more easily, less cushioning, skin becomes more vulnerable to bruising or injury. So you may have heard of the term Ozempic face. So it refers to people who lose the weight very quickly and suddenly lose facial fat. So causing the face to look more hollow and aged. So it is similar to natural aging fat loss, just faster and more obvious. So when we talk about mature skin care, the goal is not to chase aggressive anti-aging fixes. The smarter approach is to understand the structural changes and support the skin with stability, balance, and safe long-term strategies. So progression 3 is losing of hyaluronic acid and ceramax. So what is hyaluronic acid and what does it do? So hyaluronic acid is like a water magnet in the skin. Its main job is to bind and hold water, keeping the skin looking plump, hydrated and elastic. So what happens when hyaluronic acid is low? When hyaluronic acid decreases, the skin can't hold water well. So we often see dryness and tightness, rough texture and dehydration lines, dullness and tired looking complexion. So what are ceramax and why are they important? Ceramax are lipid fats found in the skin barrier. A simple way to explain it is ceramides is like the cement. I'll show you the picture. Ceramides are like the cement between the bricks. Okay? So they hold the skin cells together and seal in moisture and protect the skin from environmental damage. So what happens when the ceramides drop? The skin barrier becomes weaker, and water escape more easily, and they hold the skins, and the skin becomes more reactive. So the common signs include the increased sensitivity, redness, and stinging, itching or inflammation, flaking, and dryness.
This occurs when the ceramide layer goes on. Is it also when 50 years old we get
It will get reduced.
also reduced?
It will reduce. Most obviously is in the age of 50s, because the compared to the age of 20, decreases 50%.
50%.
That's a lot. So ceramide goes in the skin barrier. In the skin barrier, the stratum corneum colonizes dead skin cells, act like the bricks, dead skin cells. Okay, and the intercellular lipids act like the mortar cement. So colonized in the stratum corneum are dead cells, and they no longer function like normal living cell membranes. So intercellular lipids may mainly include ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acid. So these are the true mortar components that hold the barrier together. So among them, the ceramides are the most important key components for barrier strength and water retention. So what happens when the ceramides are lost? The skin losses ceramides or the ceramides represent the key mortar are reduced. So the mortar between the bricks becomes weak or incomplete. So the damaged side shows the gaps between the skin cells and the barrier. The structure becomes loose and unstable. So chondrocytes becomes disorganized and poorly aligned, like the damaged side of the picture. Okay. So increased water loss, which also TEW, moisture escape easily through the gaps. So skin becomes dry, tight, rough, and flaky. So weaker protection against external irritants or higher sensitivity to external irritants. So pollutants, bacteria, allergens, and harsh skincare can penetrate more easily. So skin becomes more sensitive with redness, itching, and inflammation. So this is the healthy side. This is the healthy side. The ceramides level are normal and the mortar is strong. So chondrocytes stay neatly arranged. Skin retains moisture and barrier stays stable and resistant to irritation. So when does the loss start? Do we only start losing hyaluronic acid and ceramides after 40? Actually no. So for most people, the decline begins around age 25 to 30. So how serious can it become? By around age 50, ceramide production can drop to about 50% of what it was in the age of 20s. So which is why mature skin struggles more with dryness and barrier issues. So why do some people lose them faster? It is only caused by aging. Not only aging, environment and lifestyle can speed it up. So let me ask, what are the biggest factors that damage the skin barrier? Just now we learned about the environmental factors, cold weather, dry air, smoking, lifestyle, yeah, UV exposure, so over cleansing, long hot showers, and the skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, rosacea are linked to the lower ceramide levels and dysfunctional barrier. So what are the consequences of hyaluronic acid and the ceramide deficiency? Both hyaluronic acid and the ceramide are low. In terms of the skin becomes dry, sensitive, and lose odor. So typically outcomes include the dry, rough, dehydrated skin, weaker barrier, and increased water loss, higher TEWL. So more visible fine lines, wrinkles, and dullness. So higher risk of redness, itching, irritation, and inflammation. So now the key question is what can we do about it? The most practical solution is to replenish them topically through skincare. So what ingredient should we look for? Hyaluronic acid for hydration. Ceramide is commonly listed as ceramide 1, 3, 6 for barrier repair and moisture retention. So how do we apply them correctly? Here's the best strategy is hydrate first, then lock in. So apply a hyaluronic acid serum on slightly damp skin for better water retention. So follow with a ceramide cream to seal in moisture and strengthen the barrier. So the barrier repair needs a consistency. The key is steady application, especially for the winter season, air-conditioned environments, mature skin, sensitive skin. So why do we always recommend using hyaluronic acid together with ceramides? Because they work as a perfect pair. So hyaluronic acid fills the skin with moisture. Ceramides lock the moisture in and repair the barrier. So one is like adding water, and the other one is like closing the door to keep it in. So preparation for is losing of phospholipids. Okay. Phospholipids are the key building blocks of the cell membrane in almost all living cells, forming the phospholipids bilayer in the skin. There are many found in the deeper layer of the epidermis, where cells are still alive, such as basal layer, spinous layer, granular layer. These living cells contain a high amount of phospholipid in their membranes. So phospholipids are mainly found in living cell membranes and partly in the skin's surface cell layer. You can think of them as a protective structure that keeps the skin cell stable, support the cell strength, flexibility, moisture retention, and the barrier recovery. So what happens with age? Cell membrane becomes weaker, slower repair, and weaker structure. So what happens when phospholipids decline with age? Phospholipid in simple terms, the skin becomes weaker, drier, and less resilient, and it becomes more prone to irritation and visible aging. This is because the cell membrane becomes weaker, skin cells become more fragile. The structure between the skin cells become less stable, skin loss support, and the moisture retention decreases. Barrier recovery also slows down. So the phospholipid layer is like the foam casing. The casing protects what is inside there and keeps the foam stable and functional. So what happens if the casing becomes weak or damaged? The foam becomes fragile and less functional. So in skin terms, phospholipids means cell membrane structure, and less phospholipid means weaker, more easily damaged cells. So what are the three main effects of the phospholipid loss? To simplify, phospholipid loss causes three major effects. Number one is a weaker skin structure. Cell membrane becomes weaker and intercellular become less stable. So number two is less moisture retention. Number three is poor barrier resilience and slower recovery. In other words, the skin loses part of its internal support system. So it becomes less structured and less hydrated and less resilient. So what's the mature skin strategy when phospholipids decline? We keep it simple and supportive. So number one is gentle cleansing, always stripping the skin. Number two is hydrate and moisture, water plus lipids. Number three is barrier supporting lipids to strengthen the skin structure. Number four is avoid irritants because mature skin reacts faster and recovery slower. So and number five is keeping a consistent routine. Mature skin improves with stable routines and not constant changes. So the goal is not to force the skin, the goal is to support the skin. Okay, let's come to the observing sign of premature aging. Now the key idea here is we want to catch aging before it becomes obvious. If we see clear signs of aging already appearing in the 30s to 50 age range, very often it's not only genetics. It's usually because the skin has been treated incorrectly or not analyzed properly over time. So where do aging signs usually appear first? Aging tends to show up first in areas where the skin is thinner, has more movement, or is more exposed to the sun. So for example, the eye area, because the skin is fine, the skin is thin, the fine lines appear first, and the nasolabial folds become more visible due to loss of volume and structural support. So at the mouth corners, we often see sagging or downward turn as the support decreases. So at the neck and the backs of the hands show aging early because the skin is thinner and exposed to sun daily. So the pattern is very clear. Aging shows up first where the skin is thin, highly mobile or frequently exposed to UV. So the early sign is sign one. Early sign one is heavy fine lines and wrinkles, extreme dehydration plus fine dry lines. So skin can become unhappy due to healthy lifestyle and the skincare, and one of the signs is extremely dehydration. So critical observation is gently push the skin at the jawline. If you see thinly crossed lines, it suggests dehydration. Very fine lines can be linked to dehydration plus the lack of stomach. So sign two, early sign two is losing of firmness. Reduce, snap back. If you gently pinch your skin and it does not instantly bounce back, this indicates a loss of elasticity. So the early saging, subtle drooping may start around the jawline, cheeks and necks. And loss of firmness is a signal that skin healthy lifestyle factors are affecting it. So early sign 3 is leading to uneven skin tone. So dullness, decrease in cell turnover leads to build-up of dead skin cells. So causing the skin to lose its natural glow and appear dull or lifeless. So the roughness, skin may feel dry, router or flakier, often due to a reduced ability to retain moisture. And enlarged pores, the loss of surrounding collagen support can make pores appear larger. So the early sign 4 is causing pigmentation and sun damage. So age spots or sun spots, flat brown or dark spots often appear on sun exposed areas like the face, hands and chest. And also uneven tone, skin may develop motor pigmentation, wrinkles or discoloration. So sunlight is a top cause of premature aging. Sun exposure causes many skin problems. Ultraviolet, UV light and exposure to sunlight age your skin more quickly and that it will age naturally. The result is called photoaging and is responsible for 90% of visible changes to your skin. Solar exposure damages your collagen and elastin strength. So having less melanin in your skin may also predispose you to premature aging due to photo damage. So apply sun protection. So your skin ages faster if you burn easily. So this is a sign that you are not able to make melanin in response to exposure to UV rays. The melanin selectively absorbs the UV rays and protects the DNA of your skin cells and also the collagen in the layers below. So the chronic exposure to the sun will lead to continued breakdown of collagen, which will be visible as wrinkles and folds in the skin as well as uneven skin tone from redness and sunspots. So now we know what premature aging looks like. We cover the sign of premature aging. So these are the common signs of premature aging: fine lines, loss of firmness, uneven tone, pigmentation from sun damage. And the key message is these signs don't appear overnight. They are the result of repeated damage and unstable skin barrier over time. Okay, so now the question is, once we can identify these signs, how do we manage them safely? That brings us to the next section, caring for mature skin. So before we go into caring for mature skin, I want to share a key long-term mindset. Today, the skincare industry is a multi-billion dollar market, and many products claim anti-aging miracles. So, but here is the truth. Many moisturizers only works on the surface, while aging starts deeper at the cellular level. So mature skin doesn't need more products, it needs more smarter support. And the first thing we must understand is this: hydration and moisturizing are not the same thing. Hydration is about the skin's water content. Ingredients like hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate, and urea help the skin attract and hold water. So moisturizing is about lipids and fatty acid, and the oil part that supports comfort and barrier protection. So to keep the skin healthy and balanced, we need both water and oil. not one or the other. So, and one more important point is, even good ingredients need to reach the skin properly. If a product has no delivery system, it often stays on the surface. So a delivery system is like a courier. Good ingredients without delivery are like a package left outside the door. So the skin can't use it properly. So that's why delivery technologies like liposome and sometimes nanosome are very useful, because they help nutrients move through the epidermis on the skin, can actually use them. So now with this mindset, let's go into the 4-step strategy for caring for mature skin. So mature skin needs more products, right? Mature skin doesn't need more products. It needs smarter support. So our goal is simple: protect structure, maintain hydration, and keeps the barrier stable. So what's the biggest mistake people make with the mature skin? They chase the quick anti-aging features and over-irritate the skin. Mature skin improve with support and consistency. So hydrating, why does the mature skin feel drier and tighter even when people moisturize? Because aging reduces the skin ability to hold water. So we lose hyaluronic acid, lipids, and natural moisturizing factors, so water escapes more easily. Hydration is water in the skin. Moisturizing is the ability to keep the water in. So mature skin needs both. So what ingredients helps pull the water into the skin? Hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate. It attracts the water and help the skin look more plump. So why do we still need a rich moisturizer? Because the hyaluronic acid brings water in, but moisturizer helps lock it and reduces the dryness related lines. So hydration is not just water, it is water plus the ability to keep water. So secondly is protecting. Protecting is the first anti-aging step. If I already hydrate and use serum, why do I still need sunscreen? Yes, we hydrate, but if we don't protect, we lose progress every day. UV continues to break down collagen and trigger the pigmentation. So what does UV actually do to aging? It accelerates collagen breakdown, wrinkles, sagging, and uneven skin tone. So sunscreen only needed when we are outdoors. No, because UV exposure adds up through daily life. By driving, even with driving, we're sitting near the windows or working out for lunch. So it's a small exposure, but it accumulates. So there is sunscreen in every morning, and we apply it outdoors. Sunscreen is the cheapest anti-aging product you will ever buy. So lastly is thirdly is nourishing. So why does mature skin need nourishment? Because repair slows down with age. Mature skin benefits from support ingredients that protect and strengthen over time. So they protect against free radicals and support a brighter, more even tone, example vitamin C and vitamin E. So they support the appearance of firmness Peptides support the appearance of the firmness and improve texture gradually, especially when used consistently. So why do we need strong acid every day for mature skin? We need strong acid every day? Not necessary, because mature skin often needs support, not constant irritation. So lastly is stimulating cell turnover. Why does mature skin start to look dull and rough? Because the cell turnover slows down, dead cells build up, so the skin looks less smooth and less radiant. So mature skin exfoliate more aggressively when the mature skin needs a renewal, gently renewal. So over exfoliation can damage the barrier and make the skin more sensitive. So the safe approach is mild exfoliation 1 to 2 times per week, low irritation options, renewal supporting system serum. So what's the goal? Our goal is a healthy, consistent renewal, not peeling, not burning or stripping. So hydrate, protect, nourishing and stimulating cell turnover when mature skin is stable and supported. It looks healthier, firmer and more ageless. So now we cover the key strategy for caring for mature skin: hydrating, protecting, nourishing and stimulating cell turnover. But the knowledge only becomes useful when we can apply it in real situations. So now we are going to do a short case study activity. Please refer to your case study handout. You will have 30 minutes to complete the activity. After that, each team will present your case solution. Okay, so when it comes to Q&A part, list 3 key causes of skin aging. Can you answer for the number 1 question?
Lifestyle, late nights, you do a lot of alcohol, that dries the skin, or you do a lot of outdoor activities, swimming, a lot of running, and not enough sunscreen, so that becomes a lot of aging as well. Smoking is another one. Smoking dries out the skin, gives a yellow color after that. So those are the 3 main causes of skin aging. I mean, this is the physical side of it.
UV exposure.
UV exposure.
Okay. So number 2 is step 1 visible signs of premature aging. You can answer it.
Lack of collagen.
Lack of collagen.
Ceramides. I think they drop 50% by the time you hit 50 years old. Collagen comes down at 25 by 1%, but you hit 50, you get 50% reduction, big discount. That's why one of the causes.
Okay. So last question is share one practice or habit you plan to change.
Sleep early.
Sleep early. Yes.
Put on sunscreen. I really don't know about that. Seriously.
Yes.
Sunscreen.
Yeah.
Must it be 25 or SPF 50 or sunscreen? Higher better.
Not really.
Not really.
Because higher SPF means more fatty acid. It will look more, you will feel more oily. More oily because more fatty acid. But fatty acid is good for our skin.
Wait, it got a really funny smell.
Huh?
Got a really funny smell.
No smell.
Really?
So in the past you feel the
Yeah, I
smell.
feel very strong smell.
Oh, I see.
Medicinal.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I forgot. Even when we're driving, we have to put on sunscreen.
Mm.
Okay, so that one I can understand that.
Mm. So participants learn. So our conclusion comes to the participant can learn to shift the focus from anti-aging to stability, protection, and intelligent care, empowering them to manage aging skin more effectively while supporting confidence, resilience, and sustainable well-being over time. So hopefully we all learn today's lesson, and so and use these two books, Nourish Cosmetic Ingredients and the Identification of Cosmetic Ingredients in accordance with the INCI designation. These two books is from the founder of Dr. Baumer Skin Island, Germany. There are two, one of them is a doctor, and one of them is a scientist. So they are founder of this Dr. Baumer Skin Island. So they own these two books. So I learned from here as my reference. So please complete assignment 2. You have 30 minutes, and upon completion, go for lunch break.
For this quick question about the aging, right? The skin is, let's say we're aging, right? So what would you recommend a person who's like 55, moving on, aging? What sort of products should we buy? Now we know our skin, right? Now we know also we're aging, and using our collagen, ceramide. So what sort of products should we buy to put on? Is that the serum?
You will start from the most basic product is a cleansing gel or cleansing milk. It's up to the texture that you like. You want lighter or you want more heavier. More heavier it means more moisturized for our skin, especially when we are anxious. We prefer to look for the products that feel more moisturized for our skin. So after cleansing gel or cleansing milk, there will be toner. Then after toner, then we will be using as our products. Dr. Baumer Skin Island will be using multi-layer liposome products. So liposome products, there are a few of them. So we will look at your lifestyle habits, whether you are most of the time in the indoor or outdoor. If you are in the outdoor, maybe you like to do swimming, to do gardening or climbing activities or running activities. So you may to use the product that suitable to your lifestyle. So after liposome, then we'll be using the ampules. Ampules, we have ampules, ampules ceramide. We also have ampules vitamin E and C. And okay, we also, other than these two, we also got more of liposome products. And after apply ampules, then you use moisturize, you use cream. So there are a few creams you can use for your moisturize to moisturize your skin. Then after that, if in the daytime you can add on sunscreen.
So this all have the ceramide and collagen is
Yes.
all
Yes.
is
The ingredients is similar to our skin ingredients.
but it doesn't help to lift up the skin, right? Because like I know like people does all this cosmetic to lift up, right? But can using the products you mentioned, can they lift up the skin?
Yes, depends the product that you use.
Okay.
Because while you're applying the products, you also have to massage it, massage upward.
Okay.
So it will make your skin lifting up. Yeah.
Because I see a lot of outside people, doctors are offering, some some injections that really can smoothen your skin and lift up. I know those are aesthetic, which is medical doctors also doing. So
That one is on injection lah, on injection, but our skincare product is on applying products. So it's a different approach lah. Okay, thank you for your time, and we may go for a lunch break.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.